So today I'll be showing you guys how to solo queue in any rank. I've made videos on specific ranks like Diamond, Platinum, and even Masters, but today it'll just be a general video. So I'm pretty sure as a whole we can all agree that Kings Canyon is a terrible map for ranked. If there was ever any split to get Apex Predator, it's this split, because I guarantee you most people are not even playing the game. Like, I'm pretty sure Pred right now is like 11k or something like that. I'm not actually sure, but I'm pretty sure it's like lower than it should be. No, for those of you who don't know, I did solo queue to Masters last split on World's Edge. This split, I honestly haven't played ranked until like last week. I'm pretty sure late last week I started playing ranked. Honestly, it's always just been fairly simple for me to rank up, so it's not that big of a deal. But for you guys who are struggling to get up there, this is the video for you. So the first and most important tip of solo queuing to whatever rank you want is communication. Now, I don't care if you're shy or anything, communication is make or break. Even if you're not solo queuing, communication is extremely important. Like, I've run into situations when I'm queuing up with my friends and it's just like we miscommunicate and we die. Using your comms is going to allow your team to win a lot more team fights, and you'll also be able to let your teammates know, oh, I don't have my tech yet, hold on, oh, I'm taking a battery real quick, hold on, oh, that guy just popped the battery, be careful, don't push up, there's a third party coming, be careful guys, let's back out if you can. All those little things you say to your teammates are extremely important. Remember, information is key in this game, or any game in general. It's also extremely important to be ahead of the game while you're playing. And what this is essentially is you're just going to IGL for your team. If you don't know what that is, it's an in-game leader. It's the person who leads your team into team fight after team fight. It's the one that calls out, oh, there's a team over here. You know, the typical person that just leads your team to victory or whatever. But what I mean by staying ahead of the game is that you're consistently looking at the map, seeing where to rotate. Also, before you drop out of the ship, make sure you're looking at where teams are landing. So when you're looking at the map, you know, oh, 2 teams landed here, so probably one of them are still alive. Oh, 2 teams landed over here, we should probably get out of here. Things like that always help. Like I said earlier, information is key. If you know where your enemies are, there's a less likely chance that you're going to get thirded. And if you do have a scan character, make sure you're scanning those beacons. Positioning is extremely important in rank. Like, as you can see here, we're kind of stuck in like at the bottom of a hill, and obviously our enemy has like a better advantage than us, but for some reason they dropped on us. But they had very good positioning and we had no advantage over them, except the fact that we're better. But anyway, if they were better players, they would have taken advantage of the high ground and they would have been able to kill us. But unfortunately, they didn't take advantage of that at all. But that's besides the point. Just remember, information is key. Any kind of information, whether it's communication, where your enemies are, how your teammates are doing, if an enemy is knocked or not, if they're 1 HP, if they just popped the battery, how many batteries does my teammate have, how many do I have, should I share one, should I give him some ammo? Any information is valid. Now for my next tip, it's your mentality. Now, if you have a poor mentality, you're not going to be performing as good. If you're losing a lot of games in a row and you keep queuing on and on and on, you're not going to be playing as good as you would if you were just playing like at your max potential. Please try to avoid tilt queuing as much as you can, because if you are playing with a negative mindset, you're more than likely not going to be able to play as good as you would if you were in a positive mindset. So my biggest tip for having a good mentality is that if you lose 2 games in a row, I suggest for you to take a break. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean get off the game and don't play for a couple hours. This just means take a break from ranked. A couple of days ago, I queued up with some friends, and I was like nearly plat 1, but we kept queuing and queuing and queuing and queuing, and we lost RP pretty much every game, and I ended up in plat 3. And the games you see on the screen right now is me trying to get back up to plat 1, but the reason I kept losing RP is because we kept queuing and queuing and queuing and queuing all over and over again. Now, the reason I kept queuing is because I was with friends. It's not because I was mad. We were vibing. I wasn't really grinding for RP because I literally don't care about rank this split. So it was like, whatever, I'm going to lose plat 1 or whatever. But my point is, when you lose 2 games in a row and you get off, you're minimizing the amount of RP you actually lose. Because if I got off like after 2 games that we lost, I would have still been plat 1. I wouldn't have been plat 3 and have to go all the way back up to plat 1. So if you're actually grinding for ranked and you don't want to lose RP, make sure you're only losing 2 games in a row and then taking a break. But if you are winning and you're like on a like win streak or whatever, do not be afraid to queue up. That's honestly something I do too. I win 1 game or I gain RP 1 game and I just sit at the home screen and just look at my character for like 30 minutes before I queue up into another, or just get off the game. Now, my next tip is when to take fights, especially now in Kings Canyon where fights seem to be like fights. Like, as you can see in the clip here, we just fought like 5 different teams in this little last room, because that's how Kings Canyon is. It's just like a fight after fight, because the POIs, it's just not even the POIs, it's just that the map is extremely small. So, and this kind of ties in on where you should land. Honestly, in lower ranks, I see like no one landing labs. So labs for me has been a great spot to land at in low ranks, but like once I got to like diamond ranked games and predator, everyone seemed to be landing there. To me, everyone has given tips on Kings Canyon says for you to land crypto or caustic, and every time you go those places, they're going to be contested. But anywhere you land on the map, honestly, you're going to have a team with you, so there's not really a spot that you're going to have like all to yourself. But the ones that work the most, I feel like, are swamps, labs, crypto, and caustic. Now, just know that you're more than likely going to be contested in these places, but make sure you're looking that no more than 2 teams are landing there. If 3 or more teams, including your team, is landing there, just avoid that place and just try to land somewhere near it and then try to third party it, because like 4 teams in one spot, that is just a very bad. I mean, it might be free KP if you get a gun, but you just don't want to 50-50 it. You're playing with your RP and you don't want to do that. I suggest to never fight mid game, because you're more than likely to get third partied, and only fight at the beginning of games and the last couple teams. I say avoid fighting mid game just because honestly, you're going to get third partied more than likely. No matter where you are, you're going to get third partied. If you can't win the fight in under 20 seconds, then there's going to be a team with you. And I say only fight at the end of the games, because that's your KP from the beginning of the game, and your last team that you're going to fight should be always 6 or above. Like in the background gameplay, this is like an example of me fighting at the beginning of the game. Pretty sure we either won this game or got second place in it, but this is the only fight we took at the beginning of the game, and we took the last fight and we lost it, but we still got KP from the beginning, and I'm pretty sure we tried to third party the third squad that was alive, and then we got some KP from that, but we lost to the last team. That's besides the point, but we got our KP and we got our placement. That's what matters. So just avoid fighting mid game and take your fights at the beginning or the last teams. Now my final tip is more like just suggestions on what characters you should play. In lower ranks like gold and I wouldn't say plat, but like maybe gold and underneath that, I'd say you could probably run anyone you want and it'll be fine. Players in that rank aren't as good as they're not good. I do recommend the movement legend such as Valkyrie, Octane. Any of them are viable, but in lower ranks it doesn't really matter that much, honestly. But my suggestions for team comps are Valkyrie, Gibby, and Gibraltar. Obviously, when you're solo queuing, you're not going to get that luxury where, oh, pick this, pick that. You're most likely going to get people that are just like picking their mains and stuff like that, and that's okay. I mean, you're solo queuing and they're just playing the person they're most comfortable with. So what I'm going to do is just list a bunch of legends that you should be playing when you're solo queuing. Now, my main is Octane, and I'm obviously going to be biased to that. I'm the best with him, so I will more than likely pick him when I'm playing ranked. Other legends that are extremely good while solo queuing are Gibraltar, Valkyrie, Bloodhound. This one's a bit of a stretch, but I actually really like Loba. She's an extremely good support legend when your teammate's already running like an Octane and a Valkyrie. I've really enjoyed using her lately, and she's been really good in ranked as well. Those are my legend suggestions, but if you do have the luxury to pick your team comps, I suggest Valkyrie, Gibby, Caustic, or the classic Octane, Gibby, and Bloodhound. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more content and comment down below what else you guys want to see.